Hey, I'm Bradley Whitford. I used to be on TV. I know. And you're welcome.
And I'm Rick Jacobs, the founder of Courage Campaign. I'm here to provide
Oh,
substance.
thank you, Rick. I know, the election is coming up and you're thinking I live in California. Obama's gonna win the Golden State by like 20%, so I'm pretty sure I can just tune out all this stuff and spend the majority of my waking hours watching liberal porn like The West Wing, right?
Not right. Remember 2008 when Obama won, but Californians lost their right to marriage equality? That happened because each election, the GOP manages to put hugely important initiatives on the ballot that they hope the majority of voters won't even notice.
Kind of like my hair. You can't see it, but it's not pretty.
This year, the GOP wants to pass one initiative, Prop 32, that would basically allow huge corporations and billionaires to dominate state elections while leaving middle-class Californians in the dust.
And the GOP wants to crush Prop 30, an initiative to save our public schools from $6 billion in budget cuts.
And unless you make it to the polls on November 6th and vote no on 32 and yes on 30, these guys are gonna have their way with California.
Sounds creepy.
It is, Brad, it is.
Let's talk about Prop 32. The people behind this initiative have an Orwellian name for it. They're calling it Stop Special Interest Money Now. But I prefer, as the LA Times called it, the fraud to end all frauds, or the Billionaires' Bill of Rights.
How about Citizens United on steroids?
Prop 32 prohibits the collection of political funds from corporate employees and union members via payroll deduction. But here's what. Corporations hardly ever use payroll deductions for political donations.
Unions, on the other hand, every penny the unions spend on politics comes from payroll deductions.
Under Prop 32, corporations are allowed to spend all the money they want, while unions would be taken out of the game almost completely.
Once the right-wing zillionaires backing Prop 32 get unions out of the way, whose special interest do you think they'll be looking out for? In the past decade, the pharmaceutical research and manufacturers of America, Chevron, and tobacco giants like Philip Morris and R.J. Reynolds, just to name a few, spent more than $700 million seeking to cut their own taxes. Then you've got your uber-wealthy fat cats.
They're not actually cats.
No, they're big jerks who happen to be really rich and don't care about you. In the same time period, they spent over $250 million on political campaigns.
Sounds like a party, y'all. And if Prop 32 passes, it's going all night.
But if you get to the polls and vote no on 32 come election day, we can all pretend this was just a really bad dream.
Like the one where all your teeth fall out?
Well, but there's also a good dream. Prop 30. Prop 30 raises income tax for the wealthiest Californians by just 1 to 3%. For Brad here, that adds up to less than his annual bill for exfoliating apricot sea kelp body scrubs in Palm Springs.
Don't touch my instrument.
Let's move on. Prop 30 would raise $9 billion to fund public schools, community colleges, the Cal State and University of California systems, and vital education services. If Prop 30 doesn't pass, we'll see $6 billion in cuts to schools and higher education starting next January.
Just so you know, Prop 30 does include a 1/4-cent sales tax too, but seriously, that's about 1 penny for a $4 cheeseburger. And since earlier sales taxes are set to expire, the total sales tax rate in California will actually end up being lower than it was last year. So go crazy. Get some fries with that cheeseburger.
Let's show the GOP they can't fool us with the fraud to end all frauds. Visit couragecampaign.org/election to find out how you can help.
And remember, no on 32.
No on 32.
Yes on 30.
Yes on 30.
Yes on 30.
Yes.
I know. And you're welcome.